Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Heather. I'm a full-time reseller in Central Maine, and this is part 2 of my bins trip in October when I went down to Gorham. We only have one location in Maine, and it's in Gorham, and it's pay by the pound. And so you go there and you dig through the bins, and when you leave, they weigh your cart or your bag or however you have it, and then you get charged. Usually it's $2 a pound. For most things, I think books are 50 cents and shoes might be 50, no, electronics are 50 cents a pound. But anyway, this is part 2 of my video, of my haul. And so first I want to show you, I just want to show you like some of the better items that I got. I got a lot of stuff for me to keep, but a lot of it is for resale also. And so I want to show you some of the vintage items because that's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm there. I found this, and this was mixed in with all of the Halloween stuff. And it was actually next to another cap like this, but it was a cheap repro for Halloween. This is actually Maine Maritime Academy. Nobody filled their information in underneath. It is Bernard USA Cap Company. It is a size 7 3/8. I do have it listed in my store currently, but this is pretty amazing. As soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. And you can tell by the weight of it, it's different than just a cheap costume piece. And this right here, this pin, I have sold this many, many times in my auctions. But it's cool to find this hat almost in immaculate condition. I went immediately when I figured out what this was and I grabbed it, I went and looked for the uniform because I was like, there has to be more around here. But I didn't find anything else. And you got to remember, I'm digging through bins that people have already gone through. I'm not really one in the beginning that like throws elbows and starts going in. So I wait until everybody's gone through it and then walked away. So I don't know if people just thought this was a costume piece, but it clearly is not, as you can see right there. Hopefully it comes into focus. There it is. So that's great. I found this in the bottom of a bin. It is an iPhone and it is in immaculate condition. There's nothing wrong with it. I have not charged it yet, but I did Google the model number on the back and it is a 4th gen. It had a really nasty cover on it. I ripped the cover off, threw it back in the bin, and the phone is pretty much pristine. This had a vintage purse on it. These are the handles. I knew as soon as I saw the handles that it was vintage, and I ripped the purse off because it was not worthy of being saved. And the handles alone, crafters are looking for these, so I grabbed those. Those are already listed also. I got this, as soon as I saw this in a bin, I knew exactly what it was. Baby book, right? Year by year. What makes it really cool is that apparently it was a gift of Oakhurst Dairy from Portland, Maine, right there. And if you're from Maine, you know Oakhurst milk. So this must have been a gift that they gave their customers who had babies. Copyright 1941. The cool thing about this book is that it's completely blank inside. Whoever received it never put any of their baby's information in it. So this is considered new old stock in my mind. The only issue is there's a little bit of a rip on the spine right here, and that probably happened in the bins because people are just throwing and shoving things, and that's when a lot of damage happens, I think, is when the items are actually in the bins. I found one of these when I first got there in the morning, and then later in the afternoon, I found another one. Bamboo cutting boards, state of Maine. These are already listed in my store. With these, you can create one listing and say you have 2 available for sale, or you can create 2 separate listings. And really with the algorithm, you should create 2 separate listings. It just shows that you have more available in your store for sale. But I believe I did this as 2 available in one listing, and that was just because of time and I was rushing, so I figured that was the easiest way to do it. Saw this Oakley box in a bin that people had already gone through. It was open on both ends and it was laying like this and it looked empty, and I almost didn't even touch it. And then I picked it up and I went, oh, and I slid it like this and a bracelet came out. It's a survival paracord bracelet by Oakley. They apparently gave them out as free gifts after I did a little bit of research when you bought a certain pair of sunglasses or glasses back in, I think it's 2019, it says on the back of it. So survival wristband, it has a bottle opener, it has a whistle on it, all kinds of cool things. So that was a good piece that I grabbed, and you have the original box. Even though there's some damage, doesn't matter. Just put that in your listing. I grabbed this Kate Spade bag right here. As soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. I grab anything that's Kate Spade if it's in great condition because it always has a good resale. Usually it's pretty quick. Where she has passed away, it just made her things more desirable. So I always grab Kate Spade items. This I grabbed. There were a bunch of vintage sewing machines in the bins. I'm not buying a sewing machine while I'm there, but I will absolutely grab these boxes that have the manuals and the attachments and the bobbins in there. People are always looking for these. So, and they're easy to ship, right? Light, perfect. So I grabbed that and I'll sell it as is, just like that. I'm not going to take the time to look through and make sure everything's in there. I'm not doing that. Having a wicked bad hot flash right now. And it's pretty gross. All right, so next I grabbed this. I'm searching when I'm at the bins for LL Bean boat and tote bags. That's what I'm looking for. And I just hit the camera. That's what I'm looking for when I'm there. They have great resale value. Amazing. And usually I find them when I'm at the bins. I could not literally find one when I was there. But this LL Bean messenger style bag was there. It's in pristine condition. It maybe was used once or twice. It looks like it wasn't even used, honestly. It's already up in my store. But yeah, this is great. And the good thing about LL Bean is that inside on the tag, there's a model number. And all you have to do is literally Google that number or item number, and then that'll tell you, you know, a description about it and any kind of research you need to do on it. This was awesome. I could not believe this was still in a bin, but we're all there looking for something different, and maybe people are there looking for vintage like I am, you know? This Yarmouth football, look how cool this is. Got the grommets, it's a banner, felt, very vintage feel to it. I was looking for pennants. As soon as I saw this, I started digging for any kind of flags or pennants. But it does say made in the USA on the back. That's already in the store. I grabbed this game right here, Insect Dominoes. It's dated right on the front, so you know it's vintage, 1989. Vintage is anything over 20 years old. That's considered vintage, especially in eBay's world. That is what we consider to be vintage. And then 100 years or more older is antique. So when I'm buying things like this or I'm outsourcing, I'm not going to get it until I check it and make sure that all of the pieces are there, and they all were. Same thing with puzzles. I will not buy a puzzle unless it is sealed, because I don't have the time to deal with going out and trying to figure out if there's pieces missing or not. I'm not doing it. This was laying right in the bin just like this. Wooden kitchen caddy with all of the wooden utensils, and they're all still wrapped in plastic. This is going to be a gift for somebody. I won't sell it, but I will definitely gift it because it's great. These were amazing. As soon as I saw them, I knew exactly what they were. Look at these booties. This makes me think of the wedding singer. They have a very Victorian feel to them, but they're not. These are like classic 1980s wedding shoes right here. They are worn on the toes. Apparently the bride did some dancing. And the laces are even lace. How cool is that? They are by Touch-Ups, made in the USA. They are a size 8. They are in my store currently right now. When I first got there, the bins, I was an hour after they opened because it takes me over 2 hours just to get there. So it's a full day trip for me. And when I got there, the first bin I went to, because I like to deal with the hard goods first, and there's a bunch of random costume jewelry in the bottom of it. And people have already dug through it. I'm at a bin that no one's standing at. So I started just grabbing it. There was like a freezer bag there with something in it. I dumped that out, took the baggie, and I just started grabbing the costume jewelry and throwing it in there, cleaning out the bottom of the bin. And then I went to another bin later on in the day, and there were 2 women standing at it, and they were just looking at random costume pieces that were in the bottom of this bin, and they were tossing it to the side. So when they realized I was taking all of it, they just started handing it to me, which is great. So when I got home, I dumped it all out onto a tray, and this is literally how much costume jewelry there was. A few pieces, I've already sorted it. A few pieces have come out, and they are worthy of being one-off items, which I have already got listed in my store. Like this bangle bracelet, it looks brand new. It's got an Alex and Ani feel to it, even though it doesn't have their markings on it. But it's a teacher bracelet. That's a great gift. I'm searching for signed vintage jewelry. So I'm looking for Trifari, Monet, Coro, Napier. This was in my stuff. I don't know if you can see it that well. It is an initial pin. It's signed Monet on the back. It has a rhinestone right here. Super cute. That's already listed. This is a great teardrop bracelet with a slider. That's amazing. That's a one-off piece too. I did find this stick pin. It's 12 karat gold filled, but that's in there. And I know from dealing with vintage and antique jewelry, I know what certain things are compared to modern. So, and I also made a video. So what do I do with all of this stuff that isn't worthy of being sold as one-offs? You sell it by pounds. So you put it in baggies, take a picture of it on the scale, and that's how you're gonna sell it. That's how I sell it. You can sell it however you'd like. A lot of crafters like to buy it like that, and then they repurpose it or do whatever they need to do with it. Grabbed these super cute decanters. Look at these. They were all in the random spots in the bins, but they clearly all go together because the stoppers all match. They're all textured, a different texture. No markings on the bottom. I'm sure they're modern. They don't look old to me, but those I'm probably just going to keep for myself. I always grabbed these. Anytime I see medical supplies or first aid supplies, I guess you could say, that are sealed and they're vintage looking on the outside on the packaging, I'm always going to grab them. These were in a bag. There was a couple pieces open. I tossed those ones to the side, took out the ones that were sealed. This is being sold as one lot in my store because that's how I do it. I do all of it together as one lot. I grabbed this hat. As soon as I saw the feathers, I knew exactly what it was. So I grabbed it. It's vintage. Look how cool that is. There's definitely some condition issues with the feathers. I lost a few before I even cashed out. And it has the original label inside. BT's, Brown Thompson's in Hartford. Probably a boutique store back in the day in Connecticut. Super, super nice. I've got that listed. This is really a cool piece. Nobody was taking this. And I saw it and I thought, oh my goodness, look at this bohemian basket right here. Look at this. It's perfect for throw blankets by the couch, right? And the best part, it's still new with tags. That's a no-brainer. I'm going to take that. I won't resell it. I'm going to keep it for myself because it's so awesome. These I knew exactly what they were as soon as I saw them. These are scout patches. They are modern. They're not vintage. I've sold a ton of vintage scout stuff. Patches, supplies, uniforms, you name it. Girl Scout, Boy Scout. These ones, I think I have them listed they're listed as one lot all together for one price. They're so light. I probably paid pennies for those, right? Super, super cheap. Oh, actually, there's another one. There was 5 of them. And then I saw this, and of course, I knew exactly what it was when I saw it. Matches my sweater, doesn't it? Look at that. It is vintage for sure. It's got a velvet feel to it. Cartier right here. And as soon as I opened it up and I checked, right on the leather tag, Cartier Paris right there. So little designer pouch. The liner is ripped, and a lot of people probably would have thrown it back. Maybe it did get thrown back. That's why it was still in a bin. But I always just disclose that in my listing because a true collector isn't going to care about that. They're going to want the item, and they'll do the repairs that they want if they want, or they'll just keep it the way that it is in the condition that it's in. This I got. So I've already sold a few items from this haul in the store, and one of them was a cutting board. I got a third cutting board, but it was a little mouse with a wooden piece of cheese attached to a leather strap from the tail. So, so cute. That sold. That was actually the first item that sold from the haul. And I always, when I'm grabbing costume jewelry or whatever from the bottom of the bins, I also grab any glasses I see. Sunglasses, eyeglasses, prescription glasses, doesn't matter. I will grab them. And so I ended up with, I think, 9 pairs of glasses. I ended up with 10, but I sold a lot of 9 of them. And I don't get into specifics like, oh, this is this prescription or that. I just literally throw them down, take a picture of them, and say, you're buying this lot of glasses. Whoever buys them, I don't know what they're doing with them. I don't ask, but that's how I sell them. And it's usually a really quick sale. Well, one of the pairs of glasses I found in that lot was also Ann Taylor Loft with the brand new tags of $24.50 on them, right? So when I'm sorting the glasses when I get home the next day, I'm sorting them and I go, oh, these are brand new. These will be by themselves because they're new with tags. Well, when I'm also at the bins, I'm always grabbing any bags I can find. Dust bags, dust covers, any kind of bags, whether it's sunglasses bags or purse covers or whatever. Because if they're marked with something, somebody might be looking for one of those. Maybe they lost one when they were traveling or whatever, or they need it for their closet to keep their items in. So I always grab them. Plus they're light. They cost nothing. This I had grabbed, didn't realize it was Ann Taylor Loft. So when I'm home sorting all of my items, I have this and I have this. Well, that makes sense, right? So they're listed in my store and they're listed as one item right there. And I put them right in the bag and that's how they're being sold. Does that make sense? Inside of this basket is the day before I went on this trip down to the bins to get stuff. I literally was saying to one of my friends, I need a bunch of white boxes because I sell a lot of costume jewelry as one-offs like brooches or pins or whatever. These are all in the bottom of the bins. So I just started grabbing them because they're all white and they're plain. I think there might be a gray one in there, but yeah, they're perfect. So when I sell something, I can tuck it right in there and it looks better because every item goes into a baggie like this. Anything I sell for jewelry goes in a bag like this. But I don't like just shipping that in a mailer. I'd rather have it be in one of these boxes. So when they get it, I think it looks a little more professional. Plus it protects it, I feel like, during shipping. So why wouldn't I? I grabbed this bag. This thing's in mint condition. This is a Macy's shopper. Look, like if you went into the store and you had to grab one of those shopping bags. Don't know how it ended up in the bins, but here it is. That's listed. I already have quite a few watches on that, actually. And I grab purses whenever I can if they're in great condition. I grabbed this. As soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. It's the Sack. Great bag. Leather. There is some little bit of staining on the back right here. I did make a point of putting that in. There's one little ink mark too inside. I put that in the listing. The other thing I always look for on purses is the charm attached. Fun fact, if the purse is destroyed and the charm is good, take the charm off. You can sell charms. People lose theirs. They're looking for replacements. I have sold a ton of charms to different designer bags or different makers. So always a good thing to think about because, it might be only a $10 sale, but they add up, right? I mean, in my mind, they add up. Who doesn't need Mork and Mindy suspenders, right? We all need these in our lives. Grabbed these out of the hard goods bins. Those are listed. And another thing I grabbed was this. It's a little tapestry, like almost 3D here. It's 2D. It's got a woman and her animals and the fruit trees. It's made in Peru. The original sticker is on the back right here. I didn't research this. It weighs nothing. I was like, okay, that's perfect. Good for shipping. I'll grab it. Once I researched it when I got home, they sell for they're all different. There's a ton of them for sale and that have sold. They're all different scenes that are handmade. And some of them sell for like $20 to $25 for one of these tapestries. So that was a good find right there. I grabbed this little bohemian basket. This is for me. Kind of goes with the theme of the bigger basket that I got. Probably, it might actually have been in the same bin. I also got, I'm going to go grab it, but at the end, I was getting ready to leave and I was going to cash out for the day. And then I decided to go over to where another woman was and she was searching through a big box of hats and mittens, gloves, scarves, all of it. And so she was going through that and I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to go through this too. And I'm so glad that I did. There's a hat that I've always wanted, but I won't pay for it in the full retail. Most of my outfits are thrifted anyway and all my stuff is. So I will not pay full retail for this hat. I thought to myself, one day I will find this in the wild and it'll be worth it. And I literally found it in this box, mint condition, with the brand new tags on it. Now, I'm thinking the resale on this is amazing. I should be selling it. I'm keeping it. There it is. It's a pistol hat. Look at this beauty. Stunning. I am obsessed with it. Love, love, love. Haven't worn it yet, but I could not believe it. So I'm thinking to myself, if I had walked out, I never would, and cashed out and left, I never would have seen this. But because I stayed right to the end and I went over to that box to take one look in there to see what was going on, this was like, to me, that was meant to be and meant to happen, because this is one of those bucket list items that I'm like, one day I'm going to find you. And I found it. This made the whole trip worth it. The whole trip. Hopefully I make money off the trip, but this made it worth it. And you got to remember, we're paying like $2 a pound for pretty much everything. I paid $138 and some change, so almost $140. I also got this thing. This is like a metal basket. Look how cool that is, right? Made in India. It's got the sticker on the bottom still. I was thinking about going marketplace with it just because it's on the bigger end and I didn't really want to ship it. But yeah, so that's most of the stuff that I got for hard goods. It's always, you never know what you're going to get when you go there. That's the best part. It's like Christmas to me when I go. I can't sleep the night before. I'm a hot mess while I'm there because I'm so tired. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about some of the things that I grab. I'm an all-around thrift store. My eBay store is kind of like a mix of everything. I haven't niched down to anything specific. I'm also a licensed auctioneer, and I have fought cancer twice. Follow me along on this journey, and hopefully you learn a few things or two, or you can teach me a few things, because I certainly don't know anything. I'm not a master in anything. I'm like, I know just enough to make myself dangerous.